Gain one Tarzan and trap.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new, welcome. Today we are watching Tarzan Escapes. It's very hard for me not to say Tarzan Escapes. That's with the S on the end of Tarzan, uh, instead of just to have that, S then that S at the end. But anyway, I learned a few things about Tarzan and stuff, um, right before right before I'm doing this intro now, which is I didn't know that Johnny Weissmuller did a series of them. I didn't know I was watching uh the basically the movies that he did in a series. He did 12 Tarzan movies. Um and so I'm kind of interested in that because I do remember asking you guys for like um actors that had played certain characters for a certain length of time, kind of like the James Bond. And then, well, apparently Johnny did the same thing. He made 12 of these. So, and I didn't know that I was watching them basically out of order. So probably for the foreseeable future, now that I know that, I'm probably gonna watch these in order for at least Johnny's half of it, because there are, I believe, 12 that were made in order. So from now on, we're gonna go in order. Uh, Today's film is going to be the third one that he made. I don't have access to the second one, which is Tarzan and his mate. Um, to say the very least, I at least Amazon doesn't have it. I'm gonna have to look to see if I can find it on any other streaming services. But at least that I know of, Tarzan and his mate is not on Amazon. So with that being said, we're just gonna go to the third one. I know the first one's up on the channel, and I believe there's another one that's up on the channel, but I can't remember what order it's in. I think it's Tarzan's Secret Treasure, which is one I know I did, but I don't know where it kind of lies in between the chronological order. I'd have to look it up because I know this one was made in 36, the one that we're watching today, and Tarzan's Secret Treasure was in 41. So I'm just gonna have to, I'll just find that out later after we watch this Tarzan. So with all that being said, guys, I'm really excited to get back into Tarzan today, especially with Johnny. Um, and that was very interesting for me too, is when I did the first Tarzan reaction, I got a lot of comments asking me how I liked Johnny's performances, and you guys let me know that he was a swimmer and stuff like that, and I didn't know that until you guys had said something, but I didn't know that the films that we were watching were connected with Johnny in them. So I'm very, very happy to continue. But with all that being said, guys, let's get into um, Tarzan's Escape. Tarzan's Escape. Johnny Watts by Smaller. I did like that though, that shot.
Pardon me, my good man, but we're looking for the residency.
That did not turn out the way.
Here, go on, you blinders, off it, go on, off it, the very idea.
We're looking for the residency.
Residency or resident? Resident.
How was merry old England when you left it?
Oh, yeah, a bit of all right, eh, what?
And you, miss, how do you find your first go at Africa?
Grim enough, I suppose. But look at me, making you answer a lot of questions, and I'll bet you're just tired of talking.
Well, if she could get any word in twice, it might be possible if she would be tired of talking.
How do you do, sir? I'm Eric Parker. This is my sister Rita.
How do you do?
Well, Miss Parker,
You're not exactly a usual sight around these parts.
Nor any parts, for that matter, I should say. My name's Fry, Captain Fry.
Your pet?
He's over there in that cage. Like to see him?
Oh, I'm terrified of him, even with these bars between us.
Don't you worry, Miss Parker. I designed that cage myself. Duralium. I'll guarantee it'll hold anything.
That might come back later.
Rita and I are just looking for something called the Mutia escarpment.
Yeah, the single approach to the Mutiara escarpment is said to lie through the Gaboni country.
Though I've seen a few victims floating down the river after the Gabonis had finished with them, only the largest and the most completely equipped safari could hope to fight it through.
That's kind of cool. I like that shot. We're actually inside the door there.
Sheer cliffs 1,000 to 1,500 feet in height and running out of sight in either direction. No safari native could be induced to disregard the juju.
What's juju?
Oh, black magic, taboo, anything that's forbidden.
When you've lived as long in Africa as Captain Fry, Miss Parker, you'll realize that there's a certain amount of truth underlying all native superstition.
But the oddest thing about him, according to these stories, is his color.
His color?
White.
Blimey. A white gorilla?
Blimey. Been a while since I heard that one.
Mysterious and formidable, the natives have learned to fear. Something that doesn't want to be disturbed.
There you have it, Miss Parker. Cliffs, savages, and the taboo. A combination nobody could beat.
But one man did beat him, Harry Holt.
Claimed to have discovered the elephant's graveyard, didn't he?
Yes, Holt's real motive then was very much what ours is now.
We have reason to believe that our cousin Jane is alive at this moment. Our father and Jane's father had a third brother, Uncle Peter. When he took it into his eccentric old head to die last spring, he left half of his fortune, of nearly £1 million, to the London University for the purposes of entomological research. The second half he left to Jane, providing she was alive and could be induced to return to civilization.
Could be induced to return to civilization. Just very weird ways to phrase it, I guess, or very weird words to use.
If you're in a position to adequately equip a safari, you've heard Captain Fry's opinion of the whole enterprise.
If you and your brother care to join me, I'll be making safari for the Mutiara escarpment at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
How lucky and how convenient that he just happens to be leaving for it at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Gonna try and capture that mythological white ape, I suppose.
You're right, Rollins.
Thank you, sir.
You're right for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah, for the first time in 10 years.
I want the steel cage knocked down and box to go with us.
Look at those.
Elephants.
I see, aren't they awful looking creatures?
Alligators.
Ashore, please. Peter!
It's back.
Captain Fry!
It's still back.
There's your Mutiara escarpment, Mr. Parker.
Juju, Bawana.
Well, why not take a tip from their natural instincts, sir, and let the whole thing go? I mean, this is Gaboni country.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
What is
There you go. What was that?
I'd rather not have to do any more shooting while we're around here.
Makes me feel kind of sad for. She was just protecting her cubs. Is that Tarzan possibly doing that?
Gabonis, get the men ready to move.
And as I say that, there's chanting going on, so it makes me think it's not Tarzan, it's tribe or another people's. I will say this. Really took no time in setting things up. It's just like right into the action, pretty much. That's kind of cool. An arrow or a spear in its head. That was kind of cool.
Whatever it was, we should be grateful to it. Get the men started, Bomber. We're going up.
Racketeer, catch a Harry. Racketeer, catch a Harry.
They're like, nope, I'm not going. I'm not going.
Men say no go, Bwana. Men say juju.
All right, let them stay. See how they like the Gabonis.
That is an impressive shot. Even if it's, ooh. Even if it was on, you know, a stage, which it most likely is.
Blimey, I wouldn't climb another step, not even to get up to heaven.
Maybe you're nearer than you think. Escarpment's a bit too big to comb from end to end for your cousin and her white ape friend. Devise some means to get them to come and visit us.
Well, how on earth are we going to do that?
Is that Cheetah? Come on. Tell me that's Cheetah.
He does come and try and set his friends free. Isn't he liable to be a bit unpleasant?
Oh, so that's how he did it.
Give our little plan a chance to come to something.
Yes, of course. Well, good night, Captain Fry.
Good night.
Very good idea bringing this cage. All he has to do is to step in here to free this ape. The trap will spring, and there we have him.
Rollins, you're a genius.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
He's not the one that came up with it, though. He just thanked him for thinking of the trap.
Sounded like that cry we heard below the escarpment.
Don't you think what you both need most is a good night's sleep? I want to take him alive.
All right, my lad, go on, laugh. You're just bait, that's what you are, bait.
You can hide in the brush down here.
All right, sir. You know, Captain, there are times when I sort of get a creepy sort of feeling that he knows all about us.
Maybe he does, Rollins.
Yeah.
Ways to inspire confidence in your man. Well, he knows everything. Hello, Johnny. I love that. Eye tracking right there. Tracking, panning. Fainted much? Surprised we haven't seen Jane yet. But why drag him? That's my question. Why take him with you? This is kind of funny. Her face. Just how big her eyes had gotten.
He was here. I saw him.
Which way?
That thing.
His lashings have been cut.
That huge monster attacked me, and after a fierce struggle, he hurled me to the ground and stamped on me.
Did he spring the trap?
No, sir. That was a precaution of my own, sir.
Tarzan.
Jane.
I'm not awake yet.
Oh, I'm glad you woke me. I dreamt I was back in London in a horrible rushing taxi, and the radio was going, and I was on my way to play bridge with my 3 maiden aunts. Thank you for being such a horrible kidnapping monster and keeping me here. Where were you last night?
Swim.
No. Cheetah. Where did this come from, Tarzan?
Swim.
Tarzan, please, I've got to know.
People.
Yes, Tarzan, I've got to see them.
No. Stay.
As far as his looks went, I thought he was rather sweet.
Sweet, Miss Rita. Did you get a good look at him?
He was looking at me.
That man was here again.
Miss Parker!
Oh, it's no good, sir. It's no good. He's appropriated us, sir.
Hey!
Rita, where are you?
I'm up here.
Rita.
Tarzan, take Rita down.
Jane, sorry.
I've never been so happy.
Tarzan!
Friend, too.
Oh, he likes me.
There you go. I like that he's masking his frustration.
Tarzan has seen guns killed.
Well, I understand his point of view. Still, there's a little matter of how I'm going to protect the lives of my party.
Well, that won't be necessary now that Tarzan's looking after you. Tarzan, do the marketing.
Market?
Yes, food for all these people. I really think you came because you wanted me more than my money. Rita can have all the silk stockings she wants. Eric can have his career, an enormous yellow roadster to drive his girl about in. Couldn't I just sign a paper?
I really think Uncle wanted to leave all his money to his frightful museum. You were just a matter of conscience. Otherwise, the will could never impose so many obstacles.
Tarzan had let me go. I must ask you to promise to say nothing of this to Tarzan till I've had a chance to tell him in my own way. I want him to know why I'm going and how soon I'm going to be back.
Why not bring Tarzan with you?
No, Rita. Out here, Tarzan's a king. How do I know what he'd be back there? And then, as he learnt more about civilization, he'd realize he was dependent on his rich wife. He'd never tolerate that. Or if he did, it might be even worse.
I like that she's actually giving thought to his feelings and what would make him happy versus what would make her happy, and what basically looking out for each other in a sense. And I know Tarzan would do the same for Jane, just not in so many words.
Angawa!
I like that. That's actually pretty cool.
We're away so long.
I don't think this animal likes me.
Perhaps you're not using the right word.
Going up. I'd do the same for you one day. Allie, up!
I seriously doubt that.
Tarzan, show him how to get some water.
Now, this is very, very clever.
Oh, Cheetah, you might turn on that fan for a while, will you? Dinner, everyone!
I wonder if they got a way to make that kind of not a power by the electricity, but some other way to do it besides having she didn't do it.
You have some tribes on the escarpment, Miss Parker?
Yes, indeed. Tarzan's such a juju to them, they leave us alone. They don't even harm the animals. But I dare say they'd be well enough pleased if we were to clear off and leave this whole happy hunting ground to them.
You know, I think I've struck upon a solution about what to do with Tarzan when you go to England.
Please, Captain Fry.
Go? Take him with you. There's no need for him to be dependent. I'm prepared to offer him a contract that may make him a fortune.
You mean put Tarzan on exhibition?
Oh, no, nothing like that. He could lecture on wildlife and handle wild animals as they've never been handled before.
Cousin particularly wished that this shouldn't be mentioned.
Oh. Oh, I am sorry.
Hold on, Tarzan. This wasn't Jane's idea.
No, there's a paper at home that Eric and I must have signs.
Yes, otherwise we'll lose a lot of money if Jane doesn't help.
You didn't think to bring the paper with you?
Food? Clothes? Money?
No, Tarzan, you don't understand. Money isn't that. It's something.
Of course he doesn't understand. I hope he never does.
Secret.
No, Tarzan, no.
Jane, people go in tower?
Only if you're willing, darling. Not if it's going to cause you the least bit of unhappiness.
Don't know about that.
Tarzan!
Just let him go. Think things over. You still got Cheetah.
Cheetah.
Tarzan was Jane's love. Wani, like the air to breathe. Tarzan makes me alive. I'm yours. You're mine, Awani. But I must help Rita. She's my friend, as Tarzan was Cheetah's friend.
Jane won't go?
When the moon has made safari 3 times, when she comes out of the river, big and round, and looks in on us here, she'll find us as we are now. Together. I will never go away again.
Until the next time that something comes up.
Understand?
Understand.
Bravo, Rollins! Now let's see you strangle a lion.
I'm going with you. But first, I want today, with Tarzan alone. We need that for saying goodbye. Don't mind their laughing at you, Rollins. I was much worse at it than you are when I started.
Practice never made anybody perfect like he is, miss.
I believe you think more of Tarzan, Rollins, than all the others do.
Well, hadn't I better get the cage down and the tarpaulin over?
No, I'm leaving that here. There'll be no stopping for gorillas on the way back.
A very valuable piece of merchandise, sir. What you sent all the way to Birmingham for.
One I want chief for friend. One I want warriors to get through Gaboni country. Want spears, canoe, food.
What we want to give Chief?
Tell Chief Bwana take away Juju. Take away Great White Ape. Tell Chief Bwana send 1 white man, 2 white women for Juju.
But he did see an opportunity, so, and he's taking it. Too bad it's not going to work out for him, though.
Tarzan, I'll fall on my face.
Oh, fall on my face.
Cheetah, stop it.
Cheetah! Amgawa!
What? Yes, and it'll serve you right if she tells her mother everything that's happened. I wouldn't squeal if this was the tallest tree in Africa and there were 10,000 lions below.
I bet you would. Oh, it took me a minute to realize what was going on. Basically to save the deer from being eaten by the alligator. Deer, doe. I think it's a doe, actually. With that shot right there, it would have been like another attack happened and it actually got the doe anyway. It's just kind of funny to see unexpected things happen like that.
Thank you, darling.
That was a nice shot and sequence right there.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where's Tarzan? He's not coming. He didn't want to say goodbye.
Parker, I'm going to ask you to join the main group with Rollins. I shall be out on the right flank with a few of the men, and Bumper will be on the left doing the same thing.
Goodbye, Cheetah. Look after Tarzan when I'm gone. You tired, Jane? At this pace? Through the trees, I could be back with Tarzan in an hour.
No, she wouldn't be tired after living this way for a couple of years now.
We'd have run into Bomber or Captain Frost. I think I'll look around a bit.
He's going back because I missed it. I was talking about Jane there.
Why, you blooming idiot, don't you understand that you're heading the wrong way?
Wait, wanna say go.
You're lying. Now, suppose you just tell me what he went back for.
Wanna no say.
Well, I know anyhow. You can't go and help Fry put him in a cage.
Wanna he'd say do.
Where were you going, Rollins?
Oh, yes, sir. I was just going back to get something what I forgot while I was packing, sir. What thing? What I forgot?
Yes.
Oh, a locket, sir.
Oh, a locket.
Yes, sir. A small gold locket, sir. Oh, very valuable, sir.
Of course, it's always a gold locket.
My mother's.
You've told me a dozen times you were practically born in an orphan asylum.
Oh, well, I was, sir, but you see, us orphans sometimes, sir, we like to have a picture that we can pretend that it's our mother, sir.
I get it. I understand. But she will return.
Tarzan, I've got a message for you.
Jane?
Yes. She's not coming back. Ever. Tarzan, she couldn't tell you herself. She asked me to tell you.
And you lie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tarzan, but you see... Do you know any remedy for a poisonous snake bite? What of my safari boys?
Where, boy?
Thanks. I'll show you. Bomber! Bomber! Use your spears! Tally in your wallet!
Are you gonna follow him? Apparently not.
That was very generous of you, Tarzan.
I would have just left him there.
Jane knew about this. I tell you she knew about it!
She did not.
Jane went Tarzan and trapped.
Bomber, we've got him! Tell him we've got Great White Ape!
This actually makes me very, very depressed. I didn't think him doing that would actually make me depressed, but I'm just thinking about everything that's happened so far, and it just makes me depressed.
Hi, Mondays.
Tell Chief Buana glad to be friend.
Wanna and Bailey got. Mbaya Bessie. Chief said Grad wanna come.
Tell the Chief I've got the Great White Ape.
Chuko Biomgo Ivanatega. Chief said Wanna no got white ape. He got white ape.
I'm surprised he can't even yell. Oh, I see. to wake him up. Shake, shake, shake just a little bit.
Cheetah! Look around the timber!
Old nemesis, the lion and the chin. That is so cool though, to get the elephants to actually do that. Oh, this old method.
Tarzan, don't move before Tarzan gives the signal.
Like they can't hear the elephants.
My leg.
Tarzan, make a litter.
I think I'm all right. I only twisted my knee.
Rita, you better not try and walk. It'll be just as quick to carry you on a litter. Hurting?
Bit.
What kind of question is that? Of course it's hurting. I mean, it just happened, so.
Unga Tower! Quick! What did Tarzan mean by Unga Tower?
We're escaping through the cave where the swamp makes smoke. It's juju, forbidden.
Angawa.
Jane, you can't let him do this.
Tarzan.
Just pushes her aside. Is he actually gonna kill him? That is a beautiful shot. So he did not die by his hand.
The escarpment slopes gradually here. There are no savage tribes. Nothing to trouble you going home.
Jane, we were lying to you about going back. You don't have to, really.
What do you mean?
You're still right, darling. Because they'll accept your signature. And that's all we're taking back with us. We wanted to take you back to where we thought you belonged. Civilization. But it's not for you. And even if your coming back meant that I'd inherit the world, I couldn't ever forget the look in Tarzan's eyes when he thought he was going to lose you. You've got the grandest possession that any woman can have. Peace and comradeship and perfect communion with a man whose whole strength is devoted to making your life beautiful. Don't you ever lose it.
That was some That was pretty powerful. There was no reason for her to go back. Because even in written form, is all they need is the signature. So they should have brought the paper with them. Tarzan's Escape. I liked it a lot, actually. More than I thought I would. Um, this actually might be one of my favorites. I know I really liked one of the other ones that I did recently. In fact, there was the last one that I did for Tarzan. But I think this one actually overtakes it just by a little bit, to be honest with you. Just because, to me, it did set up kind of expo the exposition in the first 15, 20 minutes. But then after that, it was just action and stuff like that. And we actually spent, I believe, less time with the animals, in fact. But they were, but the animals were still there. They helped the narrative and progressed it forward, except for one scene. And that one scene I want to talk about is when Cheetah pushes a doe, I believe, out on a log, or it seems like a log, and basically is just causing mischief and that sort of thing. I think you could cut that entire sequence out, and you would not miss a thing at all. Like you would not miss any plot details or plot devices by having that totally kept on the film. I don't know why they included it, but I have a sneaking suspicion. And again, I don't know the mindset of a moviegoer from the 1930s or filmmakers from the 1930s. I can only speculate. But the runtime for this movie is only 89 minutes or an hour and 29 minutes. So if you cut that out, I'd have to go back and look, but I believe if you cut that out, you just saved yourself probably about 20-ish minutes. I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think you could actually cut that part out and you'd have just an hour film, which is totally fine. Um, I get that it kind of, builds to kind of what he gets up in today when it's just him and Jane in their own, as Jane would put it, Garden of Eden and stuff. But it really wasn't necessary. It was just, I feel, just a way to pad the runtime because it doesn't offer anything other than building Tarzan's character, which we already know who Tarzan is, what his character flaws are, and just building his overall character. But we already know that he will, you know, sacrifice himself and time with Jane in order to, go save another animal and that sort of thing. He's willing to do things that will put himself in harm's way in order to protect Jane and the people that she loves. And I think that's why I like this movie so much is the both I think the reason why I really like this movie is the focus on really the characters, not so much their development because I think they're largely the same, but this one really showcased how much they're willing to sacrifice for each other, how much how much willingness they have to, you know, put in a little extra effort if one needs to, being considerate of um one another's feelings in the relationship. We see that a lot with Jane with her words and with her actions, um, but most of all with her words. She's still willing to go on this trip because they need her to, and I question that. But because, like I said, I think that even when they were discussing it around the dinner table, I think that they could have just had her sign the paper and life would go on. Um, and they said as much at the end of the film. We don't need you to come back. We just need you to sign a piece of paper. But my question was at the dinner table, do you even have that piece of paper with you? And we don't even see her sign it at the end. Because that's not really the point. The point was just to have kind of this adventure type film and to build um the relationship between the two. Um I I do like the fact that Tarzan is a little bit more still naive and will take what other people say at face value instead of like just checking with Jane or anything. Not that he could, but you know what I mean. It's just I like the fact that he still has that innocence, and I like the fact that it seems like at least since this is the third installment, over the course of two films, he's learned a little bit more English, and she's learned a little bit more of his language as well. That way, they can communicate with um, communicate with each other. Um, Part of it felt the words that she was saying to him when they were when she was trying to explain to him that she needs to go do this and stuff like that. Kind of felt like the words that they used in like Avatar, the 2009 Avatar, like "I see you" and that sort of thing, but just in a different way, in different terms. Um, I really felt a connection, there, and it does actually feel real because of the way that they communicate, the pace of it, the slowness of it, the um overall way that they connect to each other. I just really, really like it. She understands um that, you know, Tarzan needs that explanation and knows how to talk to him you know, and actually talk to him in a way that doesn't feel demeaning, but in a way that he'll understand. And I really like that because it really shows they really took the time, not only for they really took the time to understand each other's needs and wants and that sort of thing. Um, and it just feels like it's live. And there are some good um, lessons in here that you could actually take out into the real world and things that we kind of hope for. For example, um, you know, putting putting someone's needs before yours. Uh, Jane is willing to go with them, but she's not willing to drag Tarzan into that. Um, her friend Reed. I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, but Rita, I think it is. With her words, which was kind of eye-opening for me. She says, you have everything a woman could want. Um, I can't use all the words that she used because I don't remember all of them, but she basically says you have everything that a woman could want, um, which I found just very um, eye-opening and just very, um, it kind of caught my attention because I, at least to me, and this might get me in trouble, but I just don't I just don't see a lot of films where it at least in today it doesn't seem like people care about each other in a sense. It doesn't seem like the connection is real. Um it's more about what one person wants over the other one and they're just willing to leave to make that dream happen or whatever. I'm just speaking in general terms for films and stuff. Uh, I could go in detail if we wanted to talk about certain films, but in at least recently, it just seems like it's just like, go out and follow your dreams without talking to the person that you care most about. Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship or whatnot. Uh, and then by the end of the movie, they kind of make up and, they learn their lesson and that sort of thing. Um, but I might be way off base with this, and you guys can tell me that in the comments. Like, you can tell me that, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Please, please shut up. That sort of thing. But yeah, what really surprised me about this one, and I think the reason why I like it so much, is it had a lot of action and it had a lot of heart. The plot was very simple. You you don't need this elaborate, multi-step um, thing. It was very easy to get on board with. Um, I guess what I'm saying when I say that is the catalyst, the reason for the movie was very simple to understand when they really wanted to focus on building the the relationships, the um the characters' dimensions were still, at least for the people that are not Tarzan and Jane, I felt were either one-dimensional or two-dimensional, very much so. But with them, with our main cast, Tarzan and Jane, they really took the time to build layers to them. And I really do like that when the writing really does, at least for examining the parts of how they, live and talk and communicate, and you can see the actual love there. So I actually buy that a little bit more. I'm not saying that it's, realistic or anything, uh, but you can see that they put a little bit more care into building that relationship at least. And, some of it is realistic, but some of it might not be, and that's okay too. I wonder when Captain Fry made a deal with the Gimbonis, I think it is, or it might have been that other tribe that they actually got captured by because it was a different tribe altogether. But I wonder when he made a deal. Now he has been a part of that native group or whichever, because I don't think he can speak the language because he uses, I believe, Bomba for that. If I mispronounced that name, I'm sorry, um, but yeah, I think that I just kind of want to know on that part of it when Captain Fry made that deal with the Chiefs, um, and why they would, let him go ahead and try um, to do that. Um, and I mean, I guess the thought process is, well, if he fails, no harm, no foul. Um, if Fry succeeds. Um, Also, we got to talk about Roland's death because that was I was expecting someone to die, to be honest with you. I was just because of Tarzan's kind of story and the way the bad guy usually thinks in those. But Roland, my dude, why didn't you come up with a better lie than it's my mother's locket? Um, because you must have known that he knew that you lived in an orphanage. Um, and you could have just said, "Yeah, it's the one thing that I have left of my mother that she actually gave me right before she abandoned me." That's all you had to say. Um, no, I don't know if he would have bought it because he doesn't seem like the type to actually buy it, but a little bit more, you know, quick thinking on your freak would have probably helped delay or at least tried to save you, um, in that sense. I really like the action in this, and I really liked the way that the animals were able to help Tarzan. The way that they were able to do certain things, like the elephants crushing the cage and, opening up the cage and, um, the way that the animals would interact with us and then also with um, different animals as well. Um, I really like that they seemed more um, interactive than previously, or maybe I'm just misremembering, but I really like that. Um, to the very least, it would not be a Tarzan movie in this era without a stampede of elephants. Um, I'm just saying that right up front because so far all the movies I've seen with older versions of Tarzan seem to have a stampede of elephants in some at some point during the movie. And some of the stuff that they had the animals do, I was actually surprised that they got the animals to do that. It's like help Tarzan out of the cage, for example. That I was really surprised by. The fact that the elephant was aware enough to actually uh, dunk Tarzan in the river to help wake him up and to get the animals to shake the cage and for Cheetah to shake the cage and also go get another elephant when they really needed help. Um, I'm kind of just wondering how they did that. I know these animals are trained to do that, um, and that sort of thing, but I'm just very, very curious on how they managed to do that. But overall, I think I really like this movie because it combined two of my favorite things, or two of the things that I look for, which is either really good chemistry or really good fake chemistry. That that is kind of hard to tell, but also it's your job to act essentially. So, um, stuff that I would buy, and if I didn't look too deep into it, I could just be like, oh yeah, they're I buy them. I think the chemistry between Charles and Jane is good. The action was actually pretty good. I think that's the other thing that really held this movie together for me was the action because there was so much of it once we got past the initial exposition that it just really, really was just nonstop action, and it wasn't in a way where we stopped the action to take a respite. Usually, a character in a film will do something boneheaded, and now we gotta go save that that character that just did something boneheaded in order to continue going down the main plot. And that only happened once with Cheetah in the dough. But the rest of the film, I was kind of engaged with, um, and that sort of thing. So anyway, guys, I think that's all that I wanted to cover for Tarzan Escapes. If I'm saying that correctly again, it's hard not to add that S on the end of Tarzan. But that is all I wanted to cover. I believe if there's anything I left out that I didn't talk about, at least as far as kind of my thoughts. And if you guys wanted me to expand my thoughts a little bit further, just let me know down in the comments below. More than willing to have a discussion about this film and either the filmmaking process or just overall thoughts in general. Always, willing to have a conversation with you guys about that sort of thing. Um, if, and also, if there's any other movies that you guys want me to cover, um, in the future, it doesn't have to be Tarzan related. It could be, anything. Just let me know down in the comments below. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments on Tarzan, but also future movies as well. So with that, um, do consider like, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys.